The Magical Dictionary. One day, Emily, a curious student struggling with English vocabulary, stumbled upon an old, dusty dictionary in her school's library. Unlike any other dictionary she had seen before, this one glowed with a faint golden light. Intrigued, she opened it, and to her surprise, the words began to lift off the pages, floating in the air like tiny glowing creatures. As Emily watched in awe, one of the words perseverance came to life. It transformed into a small guide, teaching her its meaning by leading her through a series of mini adventures where she had to persevere to overcome challenges. For example, she had to finish a difficult puzzle without giving up. And each time she succeeded, the word's meaning became clearer. The next day, another word floated out: compassion. This time, Emily found herself in a situation where she had to help others in need, showing kindness to a lost kitten or supporting a friend having a bad day. The more she interacted with the magical words, the more she understood not only their definitions, but also how they could be used in real-life situations. Every day after school, Emily would return to the magical dictionary, excited to learn new words like curiosity, adventure, and bravery. The words didn't just teach her their meanings. They took her on thrilling journeys that made the learning process unforgettable. Soon, Emily's English improved rapidly. Her vocabulary became vast, and she used the new words in her essays and conversations confidently. The magical dictionary had not only made learning fun, but had also given her the power to express herself better in English. In the end, Emily discovered that the real magic wasn't in the dictionary itself, but in the joy of learning and using new words to communicate more deeply with the world around her. As Emily grew more confident with her expanding vocabulary, she began to realize that the magical dictionary also had another secret. Each word she learned unlocked not only its meaning but also hidden messages within the dictionary's pages. These messages seemed to lead her on a larger quest, one far beyond simply improving her English skills. One evening, after learning the word resolve, the dictionary's pages fluttered open on their own, revealing a strange riddle. When you know the words, you hold the key. Find the door that none can see. Intrigued, Emily decided to investigate. She began searching the library for any hidden doors or clues, all while continuing to study new words from the magical dictionary. Each word she learned provided a hint. Perspective showed her how to look at things from a new angle, and discernment helped her notice small details she would have missed before. One day, as she was walking down the quiet library halls, Emily noticed something unusual. A painting on the wall seemed to shimmer faintly in the light. She stepped closer, and with her newfound understanding of the word perspective, she tilted her head and saw something she had never noticed before: a door hidden behind the painting. With a mixture of excitement and nerves, she gently pushed the painting aside. There, in the wall, was a small, old-fashioned door just large enough for her to enter. Above the door, a golden inscription read, "Knowledge is the path. Words are the guide." Taking a deep breath, Emily turned the doorknob and stepped inside. She found herself in a cozy room filled with shelves of books, each glowing softly like the words from her dictionary. In the center of the room stood an ornate desk, and on it was a large, open book that seemed to be waiting for her. As she approached, the words on the book's pages began to form before her eyes. "Emily, you have learned much. The words you carry are more powerful than you know. This room is the heart of the magical dictionary. Here, your words will shape worlds and guide others on their journeys of learning." The room was filled with a sense of wonder and purpose. Emily realized that this was more than just a place to learn vocabulary. This was a space where knowledge became alive, where words had the power to change her world and others. From that day forward, Emily visited the secret room often. She continued to learn new words, but now she had a deeper understanding of their true power. She began writing stories of her own, using the words she had learned to create adventures for others, just as the magical dictionary had done for her. In time, the magical dictionary passed its power to Emily entirely. It became her tool, and with it, she helped other students unlock the mysteries of language, guiding them on their own magical learning journeys. She had not only learned to master the English language, but had discovered that with words, she could inspire, teach, and create new worlds. And so, Emily became the keeper of the magical dictionary, ensuring that its magic would continue to guide curious minds and eager learners for generations to come. As Emily settled into her role as the keeper of the magical dictionary, she felt a deep sense of responsibility. She knew that the power of words went beyond definitions. They could shape minds, emotions, and even reality itself. She dedicated her time to writing stories, creating learning adventures that would help others discover the magic of language just as she had. One day, a young boy named Oliver entered the library. He looked nervous and shy, clutching a notebook filled with scribbles and drawings. Emily noticed him wandering among the bookshelves, avoiding eye contact with others. She approached him gently, remembering how uncertain she had once felt before she discovered the magical dictionary. "Hi there, I'm Emily. Are you looking for something?" she asked with a warm smile. Oliver hesitated, but eventually nodded. "I want to get better at writing, but words are hard. They never come out the way I want." Emily understood instantly. "I know that feeling," she said, her eyes lighting up. "But words can do amazing things if you give them a chance. How about I show you something special?" Curious, Oliver followed Emily as she led him to the hidden door behind the shimmering painting. She opened it, revealing the cozy room with glowing shelves and the large desk at the center. Oliver's eyes widened in awe as he stepped inside. "This," Emily explained, "is a place where words come to life. The magical dictionary helped me learn, and now it can help you too." She handed Oliver the dictionary, and as soon as his fingers touched the pages, the familiar golden glow filled the room. The word imagination floated out of the book, swirling around them like a living, breathing thing. Oliver gasped as it transformed into vivid images: a forest filled with talking animals, a pirate ship sailing through the clouds, and a castle in the distance where a brave knight stood guard. "These are your ideas," Emily said, watching Oliver's amazement. "Words can help you bring them to life." Oliver beamed, his fear of words melting away. He began flipping through the dictionary, each new word unlocking a piece of his own imagination. Adventure, heroism, friendship, they all danced before him, guiding him to write down the stories he had always dreamed of telling. As the days passed, Oliver returned to the secret room often, filling his notebook with stories inspired by the magical dictionary. He learned not only the meaning of words, but how to use them to express himself, to build worlds where his characters could roam free. One day, as Oliver was writing in the secret room, Emily noticed something curious. The magical dictionary had started to respond differently. Instead of simply teaching words, it was beginning to evolve. Words like creativity and expression were appearing more frequently, and they seemed to resonate with both Emily and Oliver in a new way. The dictionary wasn't just teaching them anymore. It was helping them discover their own voices. Emily realized that this was the true purpose of the magical dictionary, not just to teach, but to inspire. It wasn't about memorizing definitions. It was about giving people the tools to express their thoughts, emotions, and ideas. The magic was in how each person used the words to tell their own story. With this realization, Emily began hosting secret writing sessions for more students. She invited those who struggled with language, those who felt their ideas were trapped inside, and those who simply wanted to explore the power of words. One by one, they were introduced to the magical dictionary, and soon the room was filled with laughter, creativity, and the hum of stories being born. The dictionary responded to each student uniquely, offering words that fit their individual needs and passions. For some, it brought forth words of courage and resilience, helping them write about personal struggles. For others, it provided a vocabulary for dreaming up fantastic worlds and epic adventures. Over time, Emily realized that the room itself had transformed. The once quiet space had become vibrant, filled with stories pinned to the walls, drawings of characters, and ideas flowing freely. The magic was no longer confined to the dictionary. It had spread to the people who used it. Years passed, and Emily watched as her students grew, not only in their command of language, but in their confidence and creativity. She had once been the keeper of the magical dictionary, but now it seemed that the true magic was in the community of learners it had created. Emily continued to write her own stories, but now she knew that the real legacy of the magical dictionary wasn't in the words themselves, it was in the lives it touched. The dictionary had sparked a love for learning and storytelling that would continue to grow long after its pages had been filled. And so the magical dictionary remained in the hidden room, waiting for the next curious mind to discover its power, knowing that with each new student, its magic would live on in the stories they told. As Emily's community of young writers expanded, word of the secret room and the magical dictionary began to spread beyond the library's walls. Students from other schools, and even adults, intrigued by the stories of how words came to life, started visiting, hoping to unlock their own potential through language. One afternoon, a new visitor arrived, a teenage girl named Lily, who stood quietly at the entrance of the library. She wore headphones and held a sketchbook in her arms, her eyes darting nervously around the room. Unlike the other students, who had heard about the wonders of the dictionary and sought it out, Lily hadn't come looking for magic. She was simply trying to escape the noise of the world outside. Emily noticed Lily lingering and approached her with the same gentle curiosity she had shown Oliver and others before. "Would you like to come in?" Emily asked. "There's a special room in here where words can help you, if you're interested." Lily shook her head, clutching her sketchbook tighter. "I'm not good with words," she muttered. "I prefer drawing. It's easier to express things that way." Emily smiled, understanding instantly. "You don't need to be good with words," she said kindly. "They can help you in different ways. You can create worlds with drawings, just like with stories. Why don't you give it a try?" Lily hesitated, but, feeling drawn to the peaceful aura of the library, eventually followed Emily through the hidden door. Inside, the magical room was as warm and inviting as ever, with its glowing bookshelves and the familiar golden light. Lily looked around, unsure of what to expect. Emily handed her the dictionary, and Lily cautiously opened it. This time, however, something different happened. Instead of words floating out, images began to form, sketches of landscapes, characters, and symbols. The room filled with beautiful, intricate drawings that hovered in the air, connected to words but driven by creativity. Lily's eyes widened. "I didn't know it could do this," she whispered. "Words can take any shape," Emily explained. "They don't have to be spoken or written, they can be drawn too. The dictionary adapts to what you need." Excited, Lily pulled out her sketchbook and started drawing, guided by the magical images. The words from the dictionary, like expression, emotion, and freedom, appeared on the pages. But they weren't just abstract concepts. They became characters in her artwork, showing her how to use lines and shapes to convey feelings she had never been able to put into words before. As Lily continued to draw, She realized that the words weren't limiting her. They were expanding her imagination. They helped her understand emotions she couldn't explain. Like how solitude didn't always mean loneliness, or how hope could be captured in the smallest details of a character's face. Her sketches became more vivid, more meaningful, and soon, her once silent drawings began to tell powerful stories. After a few hours, Lily looked up at Emily, a newfound light in her eyes. "I always thought words were something I'd never understand," she admitted. "But now it's like they're showing me how to see things differently." Emily nodded, knowing that the magic of the dictionary had once again found a way to reach someone in its unique way. "That's the power of language," she said softly. "It's not just about speaking or writing, it's about finding the right way to express what's inside you. Sometimes that's through words, and sometimes it's through art, music, or something else entirely." From that day on, Lily became a regular visitor to the secret room. She continued to sketch and, over time, even began incorporating words into her drawings, titles, quotes, and short descriptions that added depth to her art. The magical dictionary had unlocked not just her ability to use language, but also her confidence in expressing herself. As more students with diverse interests found their way to the hidden room, the space itself began to transform once again. It was no longer just a place for words and stories, but also for art, music, and even performance. The dictionary adapted to each individual's strengths, offering words as a bridge to their passions. One day, as Emily sat at the large desk watching her students create, she realized something remarkable. The magical dictionary wasn't just helping people learn language. It was teaching them how to connect with their inner selves, to understand their emotions, and to communicate their ideas in whatever form felt right to them. Emily's heart swelled with pride as she saw the room bustling with activity. Some students writing, others drawing, and still others playing instruments or acting out scenes from their stories. The room had become a creative sanctuary, where words were just the beginning. But there was one last mystery that remained. In the center of the room, the large book on the desk still lay open, its pages waiting for something. Emily approached it, feeling that after all these years, it was time to unlock the final secret. She flipped through the glowing pages, and this time, instead of words, a question appeared. "What will your story be?" Emily paused, reflecting on everything the magical dictionary had taught her. She realized that, while she had been guiding others, her own story was still unfolding. The room had been a place of learning and inspiration, but now, it was time for her to embark on a new journey, a journey beyond the walls of the library. With a deep breath, Emily took out a blank piece of paper and began to write. Not a lesson, not a prompt for others, but her own story, a story of discovery, of helping others find their voices, and of the magic she had witnessed in words and beyond. She wrote about the students she had helped, the joy of seeing their creativity blossom, and the mystery of the magical dictionary that had started it all. As she wrote, the pages of the large book began to glow brighter, and the words seemed to lift off the paper, swirling around her like a warm breeze. The final piece of the puzzle had been revealed. The magic wasn't in the dictionary alone, it was in the stories they created together, in the lives touched by the power of expression. When she finished writing, the room filled with a soft golden light, and Emily knew that the magical dictionary had fulfilled its purpose. It had taught her, and so many others, that words were not just tools for communication, they were gateways to understanding, creativity, and connection. And as she stepped out of the hidden room for the last time, Emily carried with her the knowledge that the true magic wasn't in the pages of the book, but in the people who would continue to tell their stories, generation after generation. Useful tips for learning English. 1. Use context, just like in the story. Learn words in context through experiences, stories, or real-life situations, which will help with long-term retention. 2. Practice creativity. Incorporate creativity in your learning. Write short stories, draw, or create art using new vocabulary. The more you engage with words creatively, the more they'll stick. 3. Read actively, don't just read. Interact with the text. Highlight new words, visualize them, and use them in your own sentences or drawings. 4. Focus on meaning, not perfection. Don't worry about being perfect with grammar at first. Focus on expressing your ideas clearly. The more you practice, the better you'll get. 5. Use multi-sensory learning. Combine different methods. Watch videos, listen to songs, read aloud, or draw vocabulary words to reinforce your learning.